Damn, it's been a whole week. Feels like forever. Feels like the longest week ever. Um, Wish I would have done some more, watch some more film, but with a whole week off from UFC, you kind of start to get entertained with other things, and can kind of get in the way. So, but let's start. Let's get going with UFC 273. Alexander Volkanovski versus Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie. I'll start from the very bottom with Julio Arce versus Daniel Santos. Um, this is Julio Arce's second fight in the bantamweight division. His first fight, he got knocked out disgustingly by Song Yadong, and here he goes up against a hungry debuter in Daniel Santos. I'm thinking I'm thinking Daniel Santos is going to take the W here. If Julio Arce was a wrestler, I think he'd have a better chance. Even though I think his gas tank might have taken a shot, considering his weight cut was pretty bad. He looked terrible on the scale. I'm going with Daniel Santos. Pierre Rodriguez versus Kate Hansen. I want to pick Kate Hansen because she is good. She's actually really good. She's fought some good competition. Her last fight was up a weight class. But she just seems like somebody who gives up, who is willing to accept uh, the bad positions that she gets in instead of trying to work out of them. She works with the bad positions instead of working out of them. While Piera seems like she has the IQ to be able to avoid some of these bad positions. So I'm gonna go with Piera Rodriguez here uh, to get the to get the W. And next we got Alexi Olenek. Piera is also like she just seems like a dog. She seems like she really wants it. While Cade, like I said, just kind of accepts these bad positions sometimes. Alexi Olenek versus Jared Vandera. Jared Vandera coming in on short notice. Uh, I'm gonna go with Alexi Olenek. I'm gonna go with the old man here. Jared Van. I should be going with the American, but he does have a hole in his game when it comes to the ground, and Alexei Olenek's gonna be going for that the whole fight. He is the Russian zombie. He will just eat shots, walk forward, and smother his opponent until they fall to the floor with him. Jared Vandera is a big man, very big. I think he topples over, ends up on the ground, and gets choked out. Mickey Gall versus Mike Mallet is another difficult fight. I want to go with Mickey Gall. I feel like he'd be a solid underdog, but I'm gonna go with Mike Mallet here. Just seems like Mickey Gall was a hold on just a second. Mickey Gall seems like he got into the UFC a little too soon and might have stifled his growth a bit. While Mike Mallet has fought in the regionals, gained his confidence. He's going in here with tons of confidence. Mickey Gall will be the confident vet as far as having fought in the UFC before, but I think Mike Mallet's going there with a different type of hunger, a hunger that Mickey Gall used to have. And he comes in prepared. So I got Mike Mallet here winning. Um, they definitely, I feel like they like Mike Mallet. So and Mickey Gal, he kind of had his chance. So I'm gonna go with Mike Mallet. Although Mickey Gal does seem like a solid underdog. Aspen Ladd versus Raquel Pennington. These prelim fights are just pretty difficult. Aspen Ladd versus Raquel Pennington. I'm gonna be going with Raquel Pennington. The quality of fighter that she's had is just better. 13-8. That's pretty terrible, but 9-2 ain't a whole lot better. Aspen Ladd, it just seems like there's some moments where like Kay Hansen accepts these bad positions. She's okay with being kept up against the fence and clinched and losing control time because that's where she wants to be. And Raquel Pennington also wants to be in the clinch. if this ends up on the floor, I mean, I've seen Raquel fight other ground specialists, maybe not specialists, but she's gone at it with where is she? Jessica Andrade, Roxanne Modafferi, not gotten choked out, won by unanimous, beat Jessica Andrade by rear naked choke. I could see her getting a submission here, considering that Aspinall loves to go to the ground and try to get her ground and pound going. I love this Penny Kianzad win. She came in short notice, I guess, against Macy Chase. Well, she everybody thought she was losing this fight, and she pulled another win off. So I like Raquel here, Rocky. Yeah, I got her winning. So Raquel Pennington, Anthony Hernandez versus Josh Fremd. This is a difficult fight here because I've seen Anthony, uh, you know, get put down by a body shot. But I'm gonna be going with Anthony Hernandez here. Josh Fremd is pretty good. I think he will show up and be aggressive. I just think Anthony Hernandez. I'm going with Josh Fremd. I'm going with Josh Fremd. I don't think Anthony Hernandez will have the power that somebody like I believe it's Gregory Rodriguez who fought Josh Fremd and put him out. I think Josh will stick to the fundamentals, stick his jab, use his kicks, have good enough defensive wrestling to beat Anthony. Yeah, I'm going with Josh Fremd here. Ian Gary versus Darian Weeks. I'm going with Ian Gary, although Darian Weeks is a very good underdog here. I believe he could get a win. He does got the wrestling and he does have the power, but I think Ian Gary will have the speed and he will have the combos. He'll have the range. He'll use his length, which he does very good. He'll pop that jab and then he'll stick a very nasty right hand counter after he slips your punch. So I got Ian Gary here taking the win. Vince from Hell Pichel versus Mark Madsen. I'm gonna be going with Mark Madsen. Vince Pichel has been controlled by like over 8 minutes, 7 minutes in a fight before against Gregor Gillespie. Mark Madsen has done tons of controlling himself in fights, I believe, against like Austin Hubbard. So I'm gonna be going with Mark Madsen here to take the W. He seemed to have the cardio and kept up with the pace of Clay Guida, a man who moves around a lot, wants to wrestle, has tons of stamina. I'm going with Mark Madsen. Mackenzie Dern versus Tisha Torres. I'm going with Tisha Torres. I'm not gonna simp over Mackenzie here. She does not have the wrestling to take Tisha to the ground, but I can't see a world where Tisha overextends her combos, ends up in the clinch, which she does a lot, like her girlfriend Raquel Pennington. I wonder if they both have the tendency of ending up in the clinch. And Mackenzie Dern could, you know, make something happen. Amanda Rivas, when she fought Mackenzie Dern and they ended up in the clinch, she used her judo throw to end up on top and then out wrestled Mackenzie. I can't see Tisha doing that. I think she needs to stay on the outside, use her speed, just hit and go, and I think she wins. So I'm going with Tisha Torres here. It's kind of hard. She is the shorter fighter. She will be having to cut distance, but I think she gets in and gets out, uses the whole cage. I got Tisha here, Tiny Tornado, taking the W. Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev. I'm going with Khamzat Chimaev, and mainly because of I've seen Gilbert Burns against Kamaru Usman, and in that fight, he started to get jabbed up, and he kind of just it looked like he broke. Like he just like once he started to get jabbed up, and it's almost like his mind couldn't accept what was happening, and instead it shut down, and he ends up getting knocked out as soon as he had that realization. So I think that something similar here happens. He I believe he thinks he's better than Kamzat. Sorry guys, these allergies killing me. Gilbert Burns. Kamzat, I got Kamzat taking the W. Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan. This is probably to me out of all the big favorites. This is the one I feel like. I mean, Aljamain Sterling didn't even really do that bad. I am a Peter Yan fan. It's because of this fight. I would say because of how relaxed, cool, and calm he was in that fight. But I think if Aljamain wanted to slow the first 2 rounds down, hold Peter Yan up against the fence, not even necessarily go for the takedown, just for control time. I think Aljamain Sterling could take this to a decision. And if it's tight, I don't know. I think Sterling could take it. I'm gonna stick with Peter Yan here, but of the three favorites, Aljamain Sterling has the best chance. I think he could even get a choke here. So or just outpoint Peter Yan. He had the volume, he had the pace in the last fight. It's just he couldn't keep up with that same pace. So, which is why a lot of people are picking Peter Yan, because he was able to stay dominant. While Aljamain Sterling lost his dominance, he had moments of dominance in that fight. That's what is crazy about these odds is that Aljamain Sterling did good in that fight. He was doing good. It's just that he got tired and then he got sloppy while Peter Yan stayed tight and composed. Alexander Volkanovski. I got Peter Yan with the win. Alexander Volkanovski versus Chan Sung Jung. I'm going with Alexander Volkanovski. I just think his pace, his ability to take hits, because Chan Sung Jung will probably be the biggest hitter he's fought. He's fighting a finisher here, a man who can either get choke or get the knockout. But I think this is a feast or famine type of fight for Mr. Chan Sung Jung. I think he actually gets knocked out. I think Volkanovski just has a pace. He has the volume. I think he finds his button. I think he finds his chin, puts him out. So I got Alexander Volkanovski here, and it's crazy. Volkanovski doesn't have a finish in quite some time. Hasn't, I believe, gotten a knockout since Chad Mendes. So I got Alexander Volkanovski here, and I think he gets the KO and gains some fans out of this KO. Start from the bottom. We're going Daniel Santos, Pierre Rodriguez, Alexei Olenek, Mike Mallet, Raquel Pennington, Josh Fremd, Ian Gary, Mark Madsen, Tisha Torres, Kamzat Chimaev, Peter Yan, Chan Sung Young. Some of the fights I'm a little worried about is start from the bottom. This Anthony Hernandez Josh Friend fight. And this Alexei Olenek Jared Vandera fight. Those are two fights that I feel don't really necessarily know how to feel about them. But yeah, those are my picks. This is Champ Focus. I'm Gambino. Let's get that bag. UFC 273. It's about to start. 6 minutes. Let's get it.